Welcome to Game Soup, episode 100. It's the show where we put ideas in a pot and try to make RPGs out of them. Christ, we've done 100 episodes of this and I can't even get the intro right. I'm Chloe, and with me today, as ever, is the illustrious Kayla Dice. How are you, honey?
Yes. Like 98 out of our previous... No, out of 97 out of our previous 99 episodes, Kayla Dyson here. I'm doing good. I'm back from Ireland. I've been resting. But I did well in Ireland. I sold a lot of my games. People seemed excited. I'm currently in the middle of a month-long experiment to see whether the power of love can conquer crowdfunder madness.
Kayla and Laurie O'Connell, you might have heard of them, have launched Mech Ritter, which is Mouse Ritter, but you have little mechs and are trying to scavenge bits on the London high streets. And it's cool. It uses stickers for character creation, and it looks gorgeous.
Yeah, you should check it out on BackerKit as part of Mouse Ritter Month. It's like a A5 hardcover book, and then it will come with multiple sticker sheets for building the mechs out of the individual pieces, so you get custom thing. And it's a sort of like all ages game, which I've talked before on this podcast about enjoying talking to like kids at conventions, and then also being like, damn, I really wish I had anything I could offer them to look at. So that would be a nice...
You don't want to send children into a nightclub that is fueled by despair? Or...
I feel that some of my games of the past where I've been like, oh, this is so close to all ages if I just didn't have a random aside where I'm like, you know what's cool? Illegal drugs. I'm like, oh, probably could have broadened my audience appeal by maybe... But
but sometimes that little sidebar about illegal drugs, it's important to have that.
Yeah, it makes the game what it is. You are exhausted, Chloe. Why is that? Explain yourself.
So, last week, it was the run-up to Halloween, and I was thinking, I don't really want to go to this Halloween party that my friends are throwing. I'll just stay in, watch a movie, hang out for trick-or-treaters, whatever. And then suddenly on Friday... So, at some point in this run-up to Halloween... Someone in the group chat for work posted, can anyone cover my Saturday morning shift? I booked off the Friday, but forgot to book off the Saturday. Oh no. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to a party. I'll take your Saturday morning shift at 8 a.m. Flash forward to Friday, I'm at my shift on Halloween day, and I'm like, all of my colleagues are talking about going to a party. I want to go to a party now. So I threw on some clothes that I'd not worn before and drew eyeliner on my face to pretend to be stitches, and went to this Halloween party. Got pissed on the way there, never mind when I was there. Got flirted at by Optimus Prime, and then Alyssa comes up to me at 10 p.m. is like, Chloe, you need to go home. You're up at 6 a.m. tomorrow. So I got a £17 taxi home.
It's decent money for a taxi on Halloween night.
Almost immediately. Yeah, to be fair, yeah. Does explain why I'm broke this month, to be fair, but whatever. Got this taxi home. Fell asleep almost immediately. Could barely scrub off all of the eyeliner that I drew on my face. And stumbled into work with a overly sugared Americano that I had to get at the Sainsbury's because no other coffee shops were open at that time of morning.
That is a sad state of affairs when all you can find is the Costa machines at a supermarket.
Yeah.
You said you were drunk on...
and I couldn't even get it in the meal deal because I got a large one. I wasn't drunk on the shift, to be clear. I was super hungover on the shift.
That's not where I was going. I was saying you were saying you got drunk on the way there, and I realize I've not actually drank that much with you. But are you a lightweight? You kind of have the vibe of a lightweight.
So back in uni, I was pretty good. I could hold my liquor until about 12 o'clock, and then I would become a pisshead. I would go white girl wasted. But now, after 6 or 7 years of never going out since before COVID, I am a total lightweight, and I get drunk after like 2 beers, maybe even 1 beer, if we're being uncharitable. So,
if you're walking on the way.
Yeah, well, look, we got off at the wrong metro stop. We got off 1 stop too early, so we had to wait another 20 minutes in the cold. And I was like, right, fuck this. I'm cracking up one of these cans. And then when we got there...
yeah, that'll keep you warm.
Yeah, keep me warm. And then when we got there, I decided, right, I've got this Warhammer gin that Alyssa got me at the Warhammer studio where they make the games. And I was like, right, who wants shots of Blood for the Blood God?
Does Warhammer gin taste like paint water?
It does taste like paint thinner. But
is that just because you took a shot of it? Is there any shot that you think doesn't taste like paint thinner?
Peach schnapps, maybe? Sours? I don't know. But yeah, no, when I started mixing it with lemon, it was much more palatable. But yeah, I was pretty sloshed and kept spilling my drink. Yeah, but there you go.
I didn't end up doing anything on Halloween because I was still... I mean, I had a plan that ended up cancelled for sad reasons I won't go into on our light podcast. But also, like, I had other plans. I was going to join Laurie for a murder mystery thing with his family, but I was still very fatigued from holiday, so I didn't end up doing anything. I mainly rested indoors. I've been watching some films. I watched Night of the Living Dead and Godzilla, just thinking of like black and white OGs.
I've never
Night of the
watched
Living Dead really holds up.
I'm not a big horror fan, so I've not really watched much like old horror, but I can see a world where I like get into that stuff, because like we tried to watch, Halloween a couple years ago, and we just kept laughing about how much they just kept playing that same stinger of music over and over again.
I think it's funny that you're not big into horror for someone who's a big Dead by Daylight girly. Though I'm also not very into horror, to be clear.
Yeah, no, I mean, we watched Saw and we're like, where's Amanda? And we got to the second one, and it's like, oh my god, it's Girl from Dead by Daylight. So...
Yeah, I guess there is now a large amount of films you can get that emotional response to.
Yeah, that's why we watched Halloween in the first place, and it's like, this sucks, actually.
Yeah, so for episode 100, we're gonna do our throwing 2 ideas in a pot and coming up with what we can, but instead of using random words, we are instead going to use each other's game titles and do a sort of mashup from there. So I'm gonna grab a game title from Chloe's itch. Chloe's gonna grab one from mine.
We'll see what happens.
And then we'll see what we have to come up on from this.
Yeah, let's do... I'm trying not to pick something that we actually made on the pod. The Man We Knew, an Orbital Blues adventure.
Yeah, okay. I was going to do Skirmish wallet-friendly wargaming. So, for the benefit... Because I don't think... We've talked about Skirmish a few times on the podcast, because sometimes we've suggested saying as a Skirmish idea. But we've probably never mentioned The Man We Knew. It's an adventure for Orbital Blues, which means it's mainly like just fiction and settings and places rather than much in the way of mix. It adapts the plot of The Third Man as a sort of noirish thriller on a space station. It was the germ of the idea I was trying to expand into a whole noir game earlier in the year. So my mind probably immediately comes, if I was mashing those up, because there's some different factions in the thing, it would be doing some kind of space station set Cold War skirmish game.
Yeah, I'm thinking like...
fighting via their
you have
proxies
spies
and
stuff that you're trying to like get in your enemy's backline, and so I think it could be like a good campaign-based war game where it's like you're making deals away from the table with other parties to like make your proxy combat team stronger or whatever, and like there'd be a whole thing of like manufacturing like fake news and stuff to have an excuse to go into whatever part of the station to do an assault.
Yeah. I think maybe you could even have a fun thing of like a much more smaller skirmish-based thing you go into when you've set over your undercover agents, and then a wider Cold War style thing for the stuff you're doing openly or discreetly.
Yeah, I think it's like you have like a big risk board or something for the entire station, and like I think you would use like a Discord server or play by post or something like that to be like organizing like coups and whatever else, and like the story would sort of build secretly. It would be sort of a you only ever get half the story because you're only one part of the picture. It's like Alyssa has been doing a Warhammer 40k like campaign thing for what feels like months now. It's probably only been like 2 months, but like they have all these backstories for all their factions, and like I think some people have started writing fan fiction for their groups, but then it's the actual struggle to organize when they want to play each other in person. So I think like this having actual game stuff to do off the table as well would kind of give this thrust outside of, well, we need to meet up every week at Geek Retreat to play a game of whatever skirmish game we call this. And, but our factions aren't really fighting, so we need to manufacture a reason why we fight, and blah, blah, blah. So Kayla's system seems to have gone to hell. So this is part 1 of episode 100 of Game Soup. And we're back. So, Kayla, what is your suggestion to throw into the pot?
I want to throw in something of mine with Levante papers.
Damn. That's one of ours!
Yeah, as in you've got to pick one of mine that we're going to mash up with the Levante papers.
Yeah, it's just the Levante papers is on your itch page, so...
It's in my folder of guest writing.
Sure. Let's say... Ritual Magic for Besties.
Okay, that's interesting. Because I guess Ritual Magic for Besties has its sort of scrapbook presentation.
Yeah.
So I feel this would... Maybe it would be like a similar version of Ritual Magic for Besties, but all of the mechanics are just hidden in these in-world explanations. Like, the game itself is kind of hidden between the pages. Maybe there's enough rules that, like... Part of this book would be, like, the rules are explanations for a game of Ritual Magic for Besties or something like that. It's hidden in the pages of what is presented as this sort of scrapbook lore book, but you can, via your own scrapbooking of the text, assemble the rules on the back pages.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know, like magazine cutouts for Girl's Guide to Magic or whatever, but then you can build an actual magic system if you like read between the lines and like, oh, every bolded word or every fourth word or whatever, we throw those together. And
I think it's like, well, like, is you can cut out these rule fragments and stick them in like blank pages at the end that would do. And also I think there maybe it'd be a fun thing to construct individual rules where it's like, oh, the resulting game would be slightly different if assembled in different orders.
Yeah, like you can build your version of Magic by, oh, roll 2d6 when, and then you add another thing after that. But then there's a couple of different things in a paragraph.
It feels like, it would be a fun, gimmicky game take to present, I assume, some kind of revision of Ritual Magic for Besties. That'd be a fun...
Yeah. I think it would be fun for, like, newbie game designers. Like, here's a little exercise. Can you make a good game out of these blocks of text we've given you? Like, we've done all the thinking for you. Now you need to make it work.
I think there's an interesting interactive element where I feel there's almost a solo game part that is assembling the game that is almost then separate than the game you'd play with a group. I feel maybe there's also something fun with, maybe, in the solo portion of assembly, like, you are creating a character who will be important for you to GM in the world of the actual game you play. Do you want to do a third one of these?
Yeah, go on, we're knocking them out. I'm going to go with 30 foes.
I'm gonna go with an arc.
Or once again we are defeated. I mean, that's just a tournament arc, but we're cowboys, I think.
Well, let's go with like going with the once again we are defeated thing, where it's like it's always a sort of attack on individual things. It's that, but there's a tournament structure.
Every day a new challenger comes to the town and you need to beat them at whatever gimmick game they play.
Yeah, no, maybe it's they're chained together. Not chained, but maybe it's a thing of like, okay, this bandit... Yeah, maybe it's like the survivors of one game of 30 Foes then become the bandit army for the next game of it.
Yeah. It's like, we're trying to pass on our curse to the next town, so...
Yeah.
It's like a bunch of cursed gunslingers are forced one by one to come to your town to challenge the local duelists in shadow games. But, like, you have... so this time we're playing cards at the saloon, and next it's a pistols at dawn or whatever, and whatever other cowboy things you could think of, like a horse race or...
Maybe, reverse engineer it, take some more mechanical stuff. Maybe it's like a game with the fictional focus of tournament arc, but with a kind of mechanical setup of once again we are defeated, where it's like negotiating preparations and making judgment calls on them, which determines... In the original 30 Foes, it was almost like a coin pool. There, it's like your odds are quite shit, so I feel like in this version you'd be negotiating maybe a more straightforward dice pool, or maybe a draw amount if I use something card-based. But it's a flip where you flip the mechanical style of 30 Foes, which is like drawing cards, a bit world building. You'd maybe, by drawing cards, world build the tournament and devise an underdog story throughout it.
I like it. I'm realising, looking at 30 Foes, this is just the Seven Samurai game I was trying to write a couple months ago. And Kayla seems to have disappeared again. So that's going to be it for this special 100th episode of Game Soup. Thank you so much for listening. If you've liked any episode of our podcast, please subscribe to our Patreon. Even £1 or $1 or whatever your local currency is would really help us, because we've been going for almost 2 years on this and we've made barely any money on it. We're not doing it for the money, but you know what I mean. It's like hosting podcasts does cost money, and you know, if you want to see Game Soup keep going, we have ideas for some spin-offs with Alyssa, my partner at Biscuit Fun Games. We have ideas for actual play podcasts. You know, there's a lot of stuff we want to do with podcasting as a format, but we just, it's not accessible for us. So, if you like Game Soup, or Kayla or Chloe, that's me, feel free to pitch in £1 or something. You'll get the episodes early. And, go back I forgot the name of it. Mechritter? Yeah, I was going to say... No, that's the name. Whatever. Mechritter. It's on Kickstarter. No, it's on some crowdfunding platform. It'll be in the description. Thank you for listening to Game Soup. Hopefully by next week, Kayla will have working internet. Thank you so much for listening. Welcome to Game Soup episode 100. It's the game show. It's not game show. Shitting hell.